Hey guys, welcome back to RC for another episode, I guess. This isn't a final thoughts. This isn't an unboxing. It's obviously not a running video. This is kind of an in-between thing. This is an unusual spot. I don't usually get a kit and build it and then go through my whole spew. I don't have a real good record of finishing my crawler kits. I guess I was a little excited about this one, and I pushed it along, and after 3-4 days, the son of a bitch was done. And it does have its first run under its belt. I have an opinion formed of this truck, but I'm not going to give my final thoughts on it yet, because I always do at least 2 full runs. I gave this a pretty good beating. This video is more of a build overview, the actual process of putting the kit together, which I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I only had one minor little issue putting it together, and it wasn't even really an issue. It was just a son of a bitch for me to get together with my fat fingers. Uh-oh, did I lock her in there? I think I had her loose before. It's got these weird little lever mechanisms that lock the body on. And I ain't quite got it all figured out yet. First time I ever built a kit with LED lights. I don't usually bother with them, but they were pretty simple, straightforward. I put them in there. Super solid rig after my first run. Well, wait a minute, I can't talk like that. This is just about the build. The fit and finish of everything was pretty much excellent. These inner fenders are all one piece, and I had a fuck of a time getting the screws to line up in a couple of the holes. I got it. I mean, they're flexible. I was able to tweak them and bend them and make them go where I wanted them to go. Really, it was a good build. And I had a pretty good feeling about how this truck was going to work, just like getting the feel of it as I was putting it together. And this isn't a review, but I'm going to say right now, it works even better than I thought it was going to. The only problem I had with it in the first run, well, I had one problem that you didn't see. The drive shafts, where they hook into the transfer case, I didn't pay attention when I hooked them together, and I had them both on the right side outputs. So when I put power to this thing the first time and I squeezed the trigger right next to the creek getting ready to go for the first run, the front axle went forward and the back axle went backward, so the truck didn't go nowhere. And thankfully I was with my buddy Super Dave, and he had some tools with him. He happened to have Allen wrenches, and I was able to break that fucking drive shaft loose and put it on the other output. That's just a matter of me not paying close attention to the directions when I put it together. That's an issue, all my fault. The other issue I had is when I was running under power, you can see that the tires are really soft, and they would dig under, and it would actually bind up one corner, and I was afraid I was going to rip the axle right apart. And this is the cheaper version of this truck. It's got dog bones in it. It doesn't have CV axles. It's so far not a problem. But the reason it digs under like that is because I thought the foams in these tires were a little too firm, so I cut probably a 1/2-inch ring right off the outside of them, and then I actually used my scissors and I rounded them so the full diameter of them is only right in the center of the tire, and it's really soft on the edges of the tread. And I thought that would soften the tires up and let them do their job, because the tires feel fantastic. And it turns out I was right, and it does do its job, and it is probably the grippiest 1.9 tire and rig setup that I've ever tried to run. But it has too much grip and too much steering radius. I actually had to turn my dual rate down a little bit. It might be, some of it could be from the aluminum servo horn I put on there. It's a little longer than what it probably should have on it. So it's got wicked steering throw. And that, coupled with the super soft sidewalls on them tires, it just caused a little binding up problem. I was able to overcome it once I realized when it was doing it, how it was doing it. I was able to avoid it when I was driving. But it didn't break anything. I didn't have any failures. The thing climbed up some stuff that just fucking flat out amazed me. Maybe I'm not used to having such a high quality rig. You know, I've always kind of leaned towards the cheaper stuff. And I've had the axial rigs, but I haven't modified them. They're all stock. They have the bendy fucking rubber links and stuff. This thing's all aluminum. It's got some killer die-hard drive shafts in it. I put cheap Alien Tech wheels on it, which they don't really lock this bead in. They don't seat as nicely as I would like with these tires. I think these tires were intended to be glued to the stock rims, which I didn't want to do because I thought I might want to open them up, put weight in, or take weight out, or change wet foams or something. And if I glued them to the rims, I wouldn't have had that option. These don't look that good because the bead is stretched in some spots, but I don't see where it pulled off anywhere. So I am able to open them back up and put different foams in if I decided that digging in too much is enough of an issue that I need to address it. Right now I don't think I need to. I think I can live with it. So, the Cross RC Demon. Very competitively priced. The kit was $269. Comes with the motor but no other electronics. I put a quick run 1080 crawler speed control, I think it is. I might be quoting you wrong. I don't have the box right here, and I'm not that fucking smart. I can't remember. It was like a $40 speed control. Maybe it was $30. I can't even remember that. And a receiver for the Fly Sky Red i3 radio, which worked flawless, phenomenal. So I got off at pretty cheap electronics. The $50 wheels, it's $50 for all four. And they are a decent quality. They just don't work 100% perfect with these tires. They don't look 100% perfect. They work awesome. The fucking thing was amazing in the creek. You're going to see that video probably before this one airs. And I'm going to take her out and give her another run, because I got to do at least 2 runs before I can give final thoughts on it. Maybe I'll go through the trouble of taking this truck and the TRX4 and try to do a side-by-side comparison run, kind of like the run you saw with this and the Everest 10. That was just kind of fun, me and a buddy. I'll probably have to take both trucks and just run the camera on both trucks. It'll be a fucking pain in the balls for me, but hopefully it'll be quality entertainment for you guys. Demon RC, if you like the looks of it, it was pretty easy to build. You can't go wrong for the money with the cheap one. And if you want to spend more money, if you really have a hard on for this truck, you can spend a lot of money on it. You can get this body in a hard body with a full interior and the doors are cut down and it is totally wicked, badass looking. Part of me wishes I would have went that route, but I'd like to get a bargain that I can pass along to you guys. Another little detail, I didn't like them stock glue on wheels, but I did put one down in the spare. I painted it up and it looked halfway decent. I could have built a good looking truck with those and it would have worked fine. The kit, when it comes out of the box, the axles are fully assembled. The gearbox, transmission, whatever you want to call it, the gear reducer box is already on the motor. It's assembled. The transfer case is completely assembled. Now, I don't trust the assembly in a factory when I'm buying the cheapest version of something. So I did take one of the axles apart. It was fully greased. It was fine, 100%. There was absolutely no issue. It was probably built better than I would have done myself. So I trusted it. I put it all back together. I ran it. I test ran the motor to make sure that the gearbox was quiet, because it actually said in the instructions to make sure you do that before you get the truck all built, because you might not like taking that son of a bitch back apart if they got the gear mesh wrong. So I don't know what all it entails adjusting that gear mesh. I just plugged it in and I ran it. And it was quiet, it was smooth. So there it is. Simple drivetrain setup, simple truck that just works off the fucking hook. Be watching for another run and a final thoughts on that truck. I can't imagine I'm going to be anything but stoked with that truck just from what I've done with it already. You guys take care. We'll see you later.